Hi, Schlockmeister fans. By request, we're going to watch Death Race 2000, Roger Corman producer. Let's check it out. Announcement of the race.
Sports fans everywhere. Today we inaugurate the 20th annual Transcontinental Road Race. Today, the 5 greatest young men and women.
Here's Mary Warnoff. She plays Janie.
Better luck this year.
My fans can wish me all the luck they want.
Don Steele, the announcer.
If my luck gets any better, I'll miss the race completely. Isn't that right, Pete?
Should be coming around.
There's Paul Bartel. He is helping to fix up David Carradine's character of Frankenstein. He lost an arm and has a few other ailments. He's more machine now than man.
Can you give me...
And here's Frankenstein's
Annie Smith.
Mr. Frankenstein.
navigator.
I checked out the car and everything seems perfect. I have the route maps right here.
I will check them in a minute.
Here's a pre-Rocky Sylvester Stallone as Joe. He is jealous of Frankenstein's popularity.
In Albuquerque, home of the American
The race
Indian
has started.
Museum. At this very moment, the cars are howling through the streets of Manhattan, but no points have been scored as yet. Take it away. The most popular
Mr. President.
sporting event in the history of mankind. The Transcontinental Road Race, which upholds the American tradition of no holds barred.
Annie asks Frankenstein to take off his mask. And actually, Carradine looks fine. We're about to see our first points. And another victim. This one from Janie.
Beautiful kill, a neat kill.
At Mercy Hospital, they set the old people outside every year to be victims for the race. But Frankenstein has another idea this year.
Frankenstein scores.
There is an anti-race
Mrs. Payne,
resistance movement
we're set to hit him with everything we've got.
led by Thomasina Payne.
Let Operation Anti-Race begin.
The anti-race movement has set a trap.
Go for the baby! The baby!
Is it a baby?
Come get baby. 500 baby.
Hello, 70 points.
Army of the resistance.
She breaks into the television signal.
Americans have been told when to eat and when to sleep, when to love and when to hate.
The president blames it on the French,
Ben's always right.
but the race continues. And Joe's not done with this victim yet. Watch the head! Frankenstein and Annie are becoming a couple.
Ladies and gentlemen, by a bizarre accident, Frankenstein has killed our cherished colleague, the deacon of the bipartisan party.
Guy thought he would jump in a manhole, but nope. His buddies inside the manhole aren't going to be any help either. That looks like Charles Napier. Joe meets a fan. At least he thinks he is.
I got pictures of you all over the outhouse. I named my favorite dog after you, Mr. Frankenstein. I did.
Lovely speaking duck ball. You got 2 seconds to live.
Of course, Joe immediately chases him down. Score some points. Here the resistance set up a driver. Made her think that she was going through a tunnel, but... oops. Score 1 for the resistance. Frankenstein realizes Annie's a spy.
Thomasina Payne's granddaughter.
I'm honored.
Thomasina Payne's granddaughter.
So you were going to capture me and replace me with that goon back there?
Drivers are now a little worried. People are killing their
He's talking about poor
members.
I like to see you out there.
Yeah.
I've been driving for 10 years. Nobody talks to me like this. You know you're an idiot. You know that?
Oh, on account of the reps.
Who mentioned anything?
Frankenstein and Joe get into a fight at one of their pit stops. Frankenstein kicks his ass. Annie and Frankenstein are an official couple now.
Joe has just scored his own pit crew.
You lousy son of a bitch!
Even your mechanics aren't safe.
Machine Gun Joe the Terrible, that funny man from Chicago, has scored his own mechanics.
Here's Jane, and she runs into a little problem from the resistance. There goes Jane. Still trying to kidnap Frankenstein, are they?
This is painful. When you see me again, Frankenstein will be my prisoner, and the whole country will know we must be taken seriously.
Fury, wait. I'm coming with you.
They're even attacking from the air.
Look at that. The rebels are sure giving it to Frankenstein. Thank you, rebels.
Frankenstein manages to outsmart the plane.
Well, America, there you have it.
A disagreement.
What do you think you're doing?
Doesn't make any difference what happens to me now.
Now that is the dumbest, sorriest thing I've ever heard you say. I don't believe you got a drop of Thomasina Paine's blood in your whole body.
You cared about
Frankenstein has a plan for the president.
Sure. Only the winner of the race was to shake hands with Mr. President.
Is that a grenade?
A hand grenade. That handshake is all I've lived for.
But the grenade doesn't get used on the president. She tosses it into Joe's car. That's the end of Joe. And we have our winner, and it is, of course, Frankenstein.
Winner and sole survivor of the 20th annual Transcontinental Road Race, none other than Frankenstein himself.
Well, Frankenstein has a knife in his hand, and he's looking to kill the president, but Thomasina Paine shoots him first. And it turns out that it wasn't even Frankenstein under that mask. It was Paine's granddaughter. Once Annie's taken down, the real Frankenstein crashes into the president's podium, killing him. Annie's still alive, everybody loves Frankenstein, and the two of them get married. And he's the new president.
Dear friends of mine, can you tell us what your first official acts will be?
He also says he's going to cancel the race for all time, which the announcer disagrees with.
Frank, do we have to listen to this?
No.
That's the end of our film. Alright, let's talk about Death Race 2000. First of all, this is one of the oldest DVDs I have in my collection. I believe I got this in 1997, maybe early 1998. I got my first DVD player in November of 97, and this was probably within the first 20 DVDs I had. Now, at the time, there wasn't a lot of DVDs available. A lot of companies hadn't started releasing movies yet, so I was just kind of buying up whatever I could for a while here. I'd never seen this movie. I'd heard about it, so I just picked it up one day on a whim. Probably paid way too much for it compared to what it's worth today. But anyway, whatever the case is, I think I watched it at the time. I remembered absolutely nothing about it, and then I watched it again today for the second time. So it's a Roger Corman-produced film. Pretty decent cast. We have David Carradine and Sylvester Stallone, of course, and it says co-starring John Landis. Must have missed John Landis in this, but anyway. Mary Warrenoff is in it. Paul Bartel's sister is in this movie. Louisa Moritz, who was one of the accusers of Bill Cosby. She was also Carmela in Last American Virgin. She's in this too. A few nude scenes in this movie, and basically what you got here, it takes place in the near future, I guess the year 2000, which is now 17 years in the past, but There's this race that happens where you get points for killing people. You knock off old ladies, babies, children, whatever. Anybody you kill, you get points for. And it's this cross-country race, I guess it was from New York to L.A., I'm not sure. Or New L.A. is what they call it in this movie. And you just get points along the way. A pretty violent thing. There is a resistance movement that is against this sort of race, as you can imagine. And they're trying to stop it. And, of course, by trying, their attempts actually involve trying to kill the participants. Go figure. That's irony there. So anyway, this was actually a pretty fun movie. It's got some decent gore scenes. Not a lot, but it does have a few. There was a nice head squishing scene for one. There's a lot of violence in this movie and just a general disregard for public safety and human well-being. But it's kind of fun. Sylvester Stallone made this movie about 1 year before Rocky came out, so he's probably doing that around the same time. And like I said, yeah, it's a pretty decent cast. Now, this DVD, like I said, this DVD is put up by New Concord, I believe, or was it? I'm not sure. Digital Multimedia Limited. Yeah, pretty cheap company. Don't know if they're still in existence, but this thing has been released multiple times since then. Shout Factory put out a Blu-ray of this, I think, maybe about 2010 or so, or just a few years back, who knows. But so there's a much better version out here, so you can get this. So anyway, it is a good movie. I do recommend it. It's kind of fun to watch. Just total mayhem. So check it out. Let me know what you think about it. I bet most of you have seen this movie. If not, watch it. Leave some comments down below. We'll discuss it. It's called Death Race 2000.